Hello, I'm Dan Prain, the Business Development Manager at the Department of Executive Programs at the Otago Business School. We're here today just to briefly introduce you to the two of our main versions of the Master of Business Administration program taught here at the University of Otago. So today I'll just briefly touch on some basic details related to our on-campus full-time program and our online version. Firstly, we'll take a look at the Otago MBA online version. This version takes 2.5 years to complete part-time. We take 2 intakes a year in April and August. One of the predominant features of this program is that it's designed to help working professionals to help advance their careers whilst they're in working conditions. Classes are taught 2 nights a week from 7 till 10 p.m. and their students have the opportunity to apply their learnings directly to their workplace as they study. Phase 1 of the program is made up of 12 core papers, which are taught over the first 24 months. And phase 2 has different options, including a professional consulting engagement, summer school papers, and international exchange. And the fees are outlined below. Now we'll take a quick look at the on-campus version, which is usually taken full-time, but also has part-time options for local Dunedin-based students. We only take 1 intake a year, which begins in mid-February, and the full-time program runs through from mid-February right through to mid-December, where the same phase 1 papers are taken in consecutive order, 2 papers at a time. Phase 2 is identical to the online program, including the PCE, summer school, and international exchange. One of the bonuses of the on-campus program is a mentoring program, and this offers the opportunity for the students to work closely in a coaching role with leaders in the local community. The on-campus program delivers solid foundations across all the key business areas and sets up our students for their future careers. Now we're going to take the opportunity to talk to one of our current students, Robert O'Brien, a little bit more about the on-campus program. Hello, Robert. Greetings and thank you for coming along today.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah. Right. I have a few questions for you about the on-campus program. First of all, we'll kick off by asking you if you could please describe some of the key features of your career up until this point.
Sure. So leading up to the MBA, I've worked in the industry for 20 years now. And a lot of that has been in roles in people management and also operational management at senior levels. So primarily in the tourism sector, so working with the airlines, in New Zealand being the company I worked for, with the tourism marketing, so Tourism Australia, and recently in the last 10 years in managing hotels, both here in New Zealand and abroad as well. So that's been my career to date.
Great. Sounds good. And looking ahead, what sort of goals and objectives do you currently have for the future?
So choosing to come to do an MBA was really around, first of all, consolidating my experience to date over the last 20 years. It's been great learning on the ground and it's been fantastic, the learning that has happened during that time. But part of me has always felt like there's been some gaps in my learning. And so the decision to do an MBA was around consolidating that experience and building confidence in the experience that I've had by learning in a structured environment. So that was, first of all, the decision to do that. Secondly, I got to a point in my career where I felt like it was becoming stagnant. And really to grow any further, I needed to take the opportunity to expand on my learning, and hence the decision to do the MBA program.
Sure. And so how, and speaking of which, how so far have you seen the Otago MBA as helping you achieve those goals to moving forward?
So I kind of felt like the gap for me has been the learning opportunities. So the time so far at Otago with the learning and the MBA, on the MBA program has really given me confidence and filled the gap where I've thought in terms of my learning. Furthermore, I think for me, it feels like it's the professional development I've been missing over the last 20 years. And in the companies I've worked for, there was really not much opportunity or focus in developing senior managers. So this has really provided that gap for me. And in my learning so far, I feel a lot more confident in what I've learned and more articulate in terms of the strategies and the frameworks that I've picked up from the variety of areas within the MBA program. So I'm pretty excited. And probably even more exciting is for me following up from this is that my career opportunities has been broadened in terms of what my options are now. Leaving post the MBA program, I don't have to look at just the tourism industry. I can now look at other sectors, given the transferable skills I've learned as part of my studies.
Great, great. And is there anything that has particularly surprised you about the program since you've been here?
Yeah, pleasant surprise have been around the level of support that I've been getting from the MBA team, the way the lectures have been structured, but also the support from the lecturers themselves. And probably even more surprising was during the lockdown was the online component where I got to experience firsthand for an entire term the online structure that was provided, how well structured it is, well supported, and the learning environment was pretty conducive even for somebody who isn't on campus. So I was pleasantly surprised to have experienced both, but thoroughly enjoyed it.
Got a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, very much.
Oh, great. Well, look, finally, as everyone on the program knows, it finishes off with phase 2, which is the last component. So what do you think, what are your plans at this stage for phase 2?
So most of my colleagues have chosen the PCE, so the consulting placement. I've chosen to do the international exchange, primarily because I have a lot of work experience already, and probably as a priority for me is the networking opportunity. So taking advantage of the partnerships that the university has with 20 of the top schools around the world in terms of MBA business schools, I've chosen to do my exchange with St. Gallen in Switzerland. Where they've got an intense 10-week program specifically targeted for international MBA students. So I think that was a huge advantage in terms of choosing to come to Otago, and definitely a deciding factor in terms of being able to choose to have that as an option for phase 2. So yeah, I'm off to Switzerland.
Fantastic. Hey, well, look, thank you so much, Robert, for coming along and agreeing to join us for this interview
Great,
today.
thank you.
Thank you.